Hi, this is the Lady Strange. Welcome again to my altar room, my sort of temple where I do my job from, that's work, that is, and where I do my magic. Marrying the magic and the mundane, as I say. So this video is going to be vloggy, as is most of my channel, other than the weekly readings and sometimes the things I show that I enjoy, I like, or pick up, which is many things, but yes. So yes, and if you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome. Either way, thank you. Thanks for tuning in. If you tune in, I have realized that my channel, after almost coming up next month, approximately 2 weeks, give or take, it'll be on my 5 years already. Yes, I started off from a small number and it go up and down. Yeah, I'm at 112 right now for subscribers, but I got up higher than that a little bit and I keep losing them. Whether or not maybe people don't like my content, maybe they're leaving YouTube themselves, becoming inactive, whatever the case is. It used to bother me, to be honest. It just not much so, and this is where my topic's going to come into about the left-hand path and how it's helped me and my current progression of it, being in it for over a year and a couple months, to be honest, since last year's big eclipse. Let's just put it that way, as a timeline and a marker and a reference point. But yes, this is more me, and my channel is a lot more style bloggy. I guess it reaches whoever it's meant to reach and whoever can resonate with it, as others reach me as they're meant to and as they're meant to resonate. But yes, I come to terms with it that YouTube doesn't show my content as much or find it as favorable, probably because I don't have other bells and whistles and all the fancy intros and stuff. No problem with those others that do. I highly respect that, and I actually enjoy the content and the creation you put into it. But I have other things and other things I like to do in past work, and work with the time and what I have. So to get on with the actual subject of the matter of this vloggy sort of video is the left-hand path and my current progress with it, what I've already learned in a year and a couple months into it and fully embracing it, and how I use it as not only a magical and spiritual philosophy and working and past working, but also into the mundane, my day-to-day experience as a woman and this human life and what I work through, interact with, process. So it's a life philosophy for me. It's a path and a magic for me. It's certainly put a lot of different new perspectives and perceptions and killed a lot of them and helped me to discern a lot about myself, my life, my experience, my interactions with others, lessons in facing hard truths, but also what to let go of and what is limiting, and what's holding me back from being a better version of myself, for myself and therefore for others in my life. Left-hand path isn't all about working with demons. You cannot, that depends on you and what's right for you and your path. It doesn't necessarily mean you need to work with demons. It doesn't necessarily mean you need to work with stuff. I like the darker aesthetic. I work a little bit with that, but that's a learning path and a learning experience for it with me. It's also a way that it's helped me to find more motivation, clarity, shined illumination on how I can be more accountable and how I've not been in the past. I cannot be a fucking victim no more, because as much as I prided myself on thinking I always was that way, I really was not. And I shortchanged myself and probably many of the opportunities I could have had, or things that I may have created or may have sat back and allowed to happen. That's a big thing about that in the left-hand path. Sovereignty, personal sovereignty, accountability, the obtaining of knowledge and working towards a better version of yourself. Not being an egotistical dick or bitch, as many are, but that can happen with any spiritual path or even life, how people are. It's all about the place you take it and how you embody it and how you do it. And again, this probably will get rambly, so if you want to get yourself some type of libation, like coffee, tea, or in my case, a mix of some nice Apothic dark wine in this beautiful glass, mixed with Sprite, a little nice mix for myself. And look at that lovely little glass I have, mindful of the glare. But so I think in many aspects of my life, as anything else, and with most of us, we come to find out if you reflect and analyze and look at the signs of synchronicities. Can't talk, oh well. That's what I do for my job. I'm off. Someone must be doing something outside. I hear. Yep, I hear power tools. Okay, so that explains some weird noise and having hearing aids. I pick up often on weird stuff. And of course, being a magician and working with the occult and a witch and all of that, I do too. So sometimes you gotta kind of use that mindful and discernment awareness to on your environment surroundings more often than not and what you're perceiving and having perspective. That's what that is about. So I've always had some of that philosophy I've come to reflect on and understand. But it's become much more so. I saw some videos out there last year, right before it. It's been calling to me years before that even. Signs, like I said, synchronicities, things that presented themselves. A being, if you can understand this with any aspect of life and the human life experience or the magical spiritual path, no matter what path you may work with or walk on, is being drawn to something and feeling a pull, when reading certain things, looking at certain things, listening at certain things, seeing those deja vus and those synchronicities for what they are, and wondering why things keep presenting themselves, and then understanding and doing the hard work by reading, observing, interacting, but actually what works for oneself. So this has been presenting itself many years before the past year and an approximate half that I've been actively working on this life path and magical path as a magician and as a woman, a witch, whatever the label is. It's all labels. It just helps us humanity to clarify and understand better. And that's what this is for me too. It helps me to understand myself better because we all should, or at least this is my opinion, my gnosis and experience, nothing on anyone else. It's just me, myself, and what I am. So I believe in constant evolution, the constant of rebuilding oneself, to be a chameleon in this thing life, because life's a fucking chameleon too. So we have to be adaptable to that too, or the best way we can. Now, I always say about change and working with death energy, but I am often most resistant to it. I admit it. However, when you start acknowledging and having accountability for like things like that I admit, and being vulnerable, honest, but using those things and using maybe the past mistakes, the transgressions, lessons, trauma, and how you've held yourself back in life, in your beliefs, your practice, and just showing up for yourself as a person in this thing called life. It really does show you where you need to grow, what you can let go of, and who is really your friend, who is really the family that was really there for you, the motivations of others, but also what truly motivates you, your true will, your true understanding. Are you using your experiences to the best that they need to be, and the lessons, and bringing those into wisdom, and also using them as a fuel, not to repeat the same patterns, but to move through them? Not to be a victim. We are victims at times, but our victims don't define us. We process and perceive through them and give ourselves the time, grace, and compassion, but let go. You don't let things fucking define us. We do the best we can. It's about showing up for yourself. But learning, growing, expanding, and learning and growing, expanding with others around you and this world. Um, having, remembering to give yourself compassion and others, but acknowledging truth versus illusion, which often we do to ourselves. I have anxieties, fucking fears, and self believing things. I have fears about showing my truth on here because I don't. Part of me always says, "Oh, I don't care about what others think." It's like, yes, I do. We all do. Um, Belonging is probably one of the inherent things of humanity. However, as I study more, I watch videos of different creators, and their gnosis and experience and wisdom inspires me. But it also, sometimes more often than not, what doesn't work for me and what doesn't belong in my life, my path, and also maybe what I need to let go. Finding that discernment, like the swords in the tarot. Using your mindfulness, your logic, what you've learned, what you can learn on and build and improve, like the tower. Burn it down, it'll crumble down. Starting to go through another tower moment again. With another health issue. I knew it, and I knew many signs for many years, as I said, along with the rest of this. As part of the left-hand path, too, is being, like I said, accountable, being honest and vulnerable with others and yourself, and helping others and listening to others. It's all about, that's the magic of life, as the interactions, the lessons. We all have lessons. We all have bad days. We all have bad experiences and bad period of time. It's, again, how we process them, work through them, and use those. Use those to our advantage and in our own personal experiences and alchemy. And how we can be there for ourselves, but also be for those people and situations and things that truly, really do matter and will also help us and that we can help to others. It all is overlaid and everything interactive. As in my case, it all begins and ends with you, as I was given by a particular triptych entity I work with, that I broke through the fears and limitations with the help of the left-hand path, with the help of that triptych aspect, and my other deities that I've worked with, as I mentioned before, that is Hecate, Hades, and then the triptych, in this case, is Lucifer, Satan, and Samael. In different forms, it's like they're different aspects, just as I have different aspects. I am Tanya, the customer service representative, which is my job, how I make my income, and the work I have to put through in this life for my survival and my responsibilities. That's how I am. That's what I do. Am I happy with that? Not necessarily, but yes. It is what it is, but I do help others. I know I do. I've been told so. It's nice to get your own validation from others, but remember to validate yourself. That's the most important thing, too. But it's also about, one second, let me take a sip, my mouth's dry. So it's also all about, like I said, I'm Tanya, the card reader, the tarot card reader, the magician. I'm a friend. I'm a wife. I'm a daughter. I am strange. I'm a horror movie fan. I love to read books. I love to grow and expand. I'm a cat mommy. I have a cat, Willow and Crowley. I'm a woman. So basically, those are different aspects of myself, just like Satan, Lucifer, and Samael are different aspects and have different personality characteristics as we do, as we're a human, even as spirits do in entities. We all have characteristics, things we like, dislike, things we project, things we absorb, things we learn, things we teach others, things others teach us. The choices we don't make, it's all a choice whether you make them or not, is it not? But the left-hand path has taught me, I've had some really hard lessons throughout my life. And again, I'm not a victim. But I've had 2 car accidents last year. And it was revealed to me a good reason as to why. I knew certain things already along the way and my past working as to why those happened last year, but I got much extra confirmation and clarity um, why those happened and what contribution that I played in it, but also how life and my health and circumstances contributed to it. A bit far more worse than I thought so. But it's nice to have answers and clarity. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. That's the way life is. But it also can help to give me more perspective on how I can improve and embody what my next challenges is with my eyesight. Let's put it that way. I'm going to make glasses because I'm very nearsighted, come to find out. Not a surprise. I just procrastinated. And there's where the accountability and the honesty comes in. Um, but I've also found out that I have some type of condition that I'm going to need to go to a specialist for. So, and it's probably a result of aging. I'm 46, but it's also of a my diabetes. I'm a type 1 diabetic. I have been for almost 25 years, give or take. So yes, half my life, give or take. So that's quite a long time in this human life experience. It runs in my family and in a very hard-hitting way. Let's put it that way. It's a challenge. It makes my days challenges. I have to work through it and work around it and often pep talk myself. But I don't let it rule me as best as I can. But I recognize my experience and what I can and can't do. That's also a thing about all of that. Um, and of course, I have hearing aids. I mentioned that in my previous videos. I'm almost deaf in one ear and 50% in the other. I haven't had a recent test on that, so I got to get that in the very near future. That's on the many list of things to do and that are required. But again, I'm not letting those things hold me back. I'm working with what I have and ways around it and through it to embody and empower myself. There we go. That's what I was looking for. But the left-hand path also teaches you, besides being a better version of yourself and being better, it's better for others around you because everything trickles in. It also teaches, in my case, I love music. Music is magic. As The Road to Nowhere leads to me, a great Ozzy Osbourne song. I'm a metal fan, of course. So yes, but that is the philosophy. It's also magically. It helps. It's working with different things. It helps you to break through your fears, your anxieties, and your limiting beliefs. How you limit yourself and how you can show up for yourself, but also show up for what the others and things that actually matter to you, or how to create what you need for your future. It's also on being honest. It's also being respectable to others and yourself, but knowing your boundaries. I have a huge problem with that. I've improved many-fold because of the left-hand path and because of the entities I've been more open to and continue to come their way and show different things for me that help me and empower me. Ultimately, it's up to me, and being on left-hand, that's the thing about the whole living God thing is you're not God, you're not invincible or immortal or that. You're a human. But being God-like means that what you can realizing what you can control and what you can better and improve upon and what you can't, but using that effectively, using your wisdom, learning and discerning, being open and receptive, showing up for yourself, having courage, strength, and autonomy and individuality. Here I am, Tanya in her red room, the Lady Strange. I am wearing my black. I wear my jewelry again after years at my previous job, which luckily I've been almost out of for 2 years. Similar type of job, but there are many improvements. Not 100% happy, like I said, but I don't ever think that's ever going to be happy, or is that achievable in all honesty. But yes, working with demons, working with my own particular set of spirits that are with me, and then realizing you've been all along in different forms, but laid back until I was ready. That's another thing. Recognizing when you're ready, but when you also have to move when you don't feel 100% ready. Looking to yourself as your motivator, looking to your daemon or higher self, whichever or however you label it, holy guardian angel, or guardian angels, those are spirits. I call mine spirit guides, and then the spirits I work with, and then my daemon is my higher self. I have a video under working through this with my spirit icons. There's a playlist if you feel inclined. Um, but it's made me stronger. It's made me raw. It's made me vulnerable. It's made me face really hard truths about myself and the part I play in my day-to-day experience, my thinking and what I choose to do and choose not to do. But also those things that I have not healed. Those things that I can use to propel myself forward, to have a better life, and to work what I have and take those tower moments and take that devil. The devil's also about removing restrictions, but finding lust and truth and being you, not being what society wants you to be, what others told you to be that you should be, or that you are, or what they perceive, what or have their preconceived notions of you, or what they've laid upon you. It's not that. Ultimately, it's about creating and embodying what you want, but being the best fucking person you can be, and being the best magician you can be, in my case, being the best woman I can be, and improving on what I have and what I can be for myself, and that which truly matters. The true magic of things lies within you, but also with what you work with, having a respectful, reverent relationship and learning and growing, but remembering that ultimately it's you. Ultimately, it's only you in this human life experience, and only you if you're an occultist or a magician, or which, like I am. Um, Ultimately, it's you, but it's also when what you work with, like myself, like um, demons and entities on the underworld a lot and death energies. It's all about the willingness to try your best and to work through it and acknowledge what does and doesn't work and putting forth the effort. That's what magic is. It's not all about, oh, I'm going to wave my wand and my tools, which I have many of them. I have my own stores, many of those close to me. Really call it. I'm fortunate. I've acquired quite a collection over the years. So that's a blessing in itself, and being grateful for all those things. Do I necessarily need all of them? No. But many of them have been acquisitions, investments, and have helped me in my practice. But knowing is that what has always scared me, why does it scare me? That's another thing. Questioning and analyzing, but not over analyzing, which I'm guilty of analyzing, overthinking. I'm improving on that slowly but surely. Um, and realizing things come to me when they're meant to in due time, and why maybe some opportunities were not mine, and some may have been, but what I've contributed into it, or what opportunities I can make mine and work through. So, yes, um, I work with spirits, as I said. I work with demons. I work with darker magic and darker aesthetic. But it takes a certain amount of darkness to see the stars. It takes a certain amount of darkness to hold the light. Anyone that knows me in my real life knows I'm very caring and compassionate. I'm a healer. I give a lot, more than often I have to give. Um, that's why I'm good in customer service. I am, despite the hearing aids, I try to be a good listener. I try to be a better version of myself. And of course, help others, be willing to do the best I can, but also now being more mindful for myself and not beating myself up for my failures or how my shortcomings, or that I'm not as good as other YouTubers, or that I don't have enough subscribers, or no one acknowledges me. I'm the only one that needs to validate myself. Um, so yes, and yes, this is rambly, but it is what it is. Again, and I embrace my true self and my true will, and I'm breaking through my fears. I'm making great progress and great empowerment instead of feeling disempowered like I was for so many years. I'm feeling like I'm being reborn and building on a better foundation. That's all we can do. Um, and so that's how the left hand path goes into it. But it's also making me be what I know, becoming what I know I have always held in there and what I've always felt drawn to. Not fearing who I am or what I am, or allowing it or what is going to cause others to leave me or not approve of me. Oh, well, you're here in my life. That's fine. If you're not, that's fine. To each their own, just the same as I am with them. And understandable. So, left hand path equals understanding, to know thyself, to know thy power. Power is courage, strength, will, showing up for yourself and doing the hard fucking work. Um, and know thy truth. That is who you are, your autonomy, the truth of life, what is real, what is illusion, who's there for you, who's not, but truly being there for yourself. As in my case, as a woman, witch, spiritual being, magician, and my own divinity form of my own self and my Godhead. So, with that being said, thanks for watching this update of how much it's actually improved my life and empowered me. But it is a painful path, but it is the path I'm meant to be on and that I'm ready for. And I'm only looking forward to growing, learning, experiencing, and expanding my wisdom and understanding and my magic. So, with that being said, stay strange and know thyself and know thy power. Hail thyself.